If the Steelers draft Lenore Sellers next year, just to pull a quarterback name out of the hat, and 2 years in, he doesn't play well, how do you not fire Mike Tomlin? Like, it's one thing to screw up with one first-round quarterback. Usually, if a staff screws up with one, they're gone. You draft a quarterback, he doesn't work out, that's the end of a regime. They did that. Now, they've had winning seasons, and they've gone to the playoffs. Not that has looked good. If you do it again, if you draft a guy in round one again, and he doesn't play well, I don't know how you could possibly justify keeping Mike Tomlin around if you're Art Rooney II. What is he, a cat? He got 9 lives?
I mean, if they make the playoffs, I mean, him not playing well doesn't mean that they won't make the playoffs. So that's the justification right there. Like, that
would be their justification. That ain't good enough for me.
No, I get it. Like, I mean, you need to get the most out of your first-round quarterback. So this time around, I don't know. I think Mike Tomlin's here until he says he doesn't want to be here anymore.
I think that's the case, too. I just can't believe that they would allow that to happen, though. How many years? Let's play it out. Let's say this is Rodgers' last year. You draft Drew Aller just to pull another quarterback name out of the hat, and it doesn't go well for the first 2 years. Now you're on 11 consecutive years, 10 consecutive years, not winning a playoff game, and it's looking like your second first-round quarterback ain't going to work out.
In 2 years?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying your second first-round quarterback won't work out within 2 years.
Right, halfway through the rookie deal.
Right.
Every single franchise in the league, save for this one, would get rid of the head coach. Every last one of them. Now, I think Omar Khan, weirdly, has a little bit of cover here because Kevin Colbert drafted Kenny Pickett. He was the GM. Now, Mike Tomlin probably had a ton to do with that. But Omar moved off of Kenny. Omar didn't draft him, so I think he's got a little bit of cover. He'll have his one franchise quarterback to screw up, whereas Tomlin will be on his second. I'm thinking hard here, which is tough at 6:53 in the morning, of teams that screwed up with a franchise quarterback and didn't wind up getting rid of the coach. Doesn't happen very often.
I mean, you even look at Jacksonville.
Man, and they're hanging on forever with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, but they got rid of their coach.
Right? Boy, the whole Urban Meyer thing was...
They got rid of 2 coaches, right?
Yeah. Him and Doug Peterson. Oh, man.
Yeah, I know.
But they believe so much in the quarterback that they're like, no, this quarterback's the right one.
We'll pay him $250.
Yeah, we're going to pay this guy $250 million. We're going to go through... Now you're on your third coach. That's how much they believe in the quarterback, and they thought that the coaches failed him. You're right. That's a good example. So, for me, I fired Tomlin like the last 2 off seasons.
I mean, look at McCarthy, too.
Right? I don't think that and I know that you're not saying this would be good enough for you. I just don't know how, if 3 years from now, Garrett Nussmeier sucks, they haven't won a playoff game in 11 years, and how Art Rooney II could look in the mirror and say, you're doing a good job, buddy.
It would be very hard for me to justify a situation like that if I looked back, say, 3 years prior and saw what Sean Payton did with Bo Nix. It'd be very hard for me as an owner or as somebody running a company, somebody running a franchise, to justify the job the head coach is doing whenever I saw it happen with only a half of a year in a rookie's deal that wasn't the first quarterback taken in his class, with a Hall of Fame head coach in a different regime, in a different place, got that much out of that guy in Denver with a half of a season.
We saw Bo Nix play. I thought they were going to win 3 games.
And then, boom.
Then he's throwing a dime
in the playoffs
to spot the Broncos to a 7-0 playoff lead.
Right. That would be hard for me to justify my situation whenever I knew that situation happened 3 years prior.
Steelers haven't had a lead in a playoff game since what? Since when they beat Kansas City in 2016 with all those field goals? Rookie quarterback Bo Nix comes in, bang. Stakes them to a lead. Now they lose the game and it wound up being ugly, but yeah, I think you're right.
and it's going to take you 2 years to get the most out of our first-round quarterback. I just, at that point, I would have to, like, for real, look to move into a different direction.
Well, and let's pay special attention to Ben Johnson this year, because Chicago called Pittsburgh about trading for Tomlin. And if Tomlin had gone to Chicago, the obvious, logical guy that they should have hired would have been Ben Johnson. Now, maybe they would have gone Aaron Glenn. I don't really remember the timeline there. Maybe Aaron Glenn had gotten eaten up by the Jets.
The same time.
Because they've preferred defensive guys. They just have. So maybe they go with a young, up-and-coming defensive guy in Aaron Glenn. Well, and that too. But if Ben Johnson had been here, I mean, that would have been the guy I'd have hired. If he can take Caleb Johnson for being the guy who took 75 sacks or whatever it was last year and make him a good player in that offense this year, and then the Steelers draft a quarterback in 2026 and that guy sucks, I'm going to be apoplectic because you had your chance. You had your opportunity. Texter, you completely underestimate how difficult it is to land a franchise quarterback. It's not just the Steelers. The majority of teams go few and far between franchise quarterbacks. Look at Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland fires coach every few years. They screwed up the Baker Mayfield thing.
Yeah.
They screwed that up. But that's not on the coach. That was purely on ownership.
It's extremely hard to find a franchise quarterback. Extremely hard.
But when you're correct. But when your resume is, as we're playing it forward with this hypothetical, haven't won a playoff game literally in a decade, and now you failed 2 first-round, quote-unquote, franchise quarterbacks, I don't think there's another organization in sports that would keep their coach around for that. He won a championship in 2008. That's really hard to do. Mike Tomlin's a Ring of Honor guy, probably going to be a Hall of Fame head coach. But 10 years without a playoff win and 2 failed first-round quarterbacks, you should not be able to survive that.